To whoever's watching, hi, my name is Naomi, and this is Duke, my husband.
Hello.
And today we are at the airport getting ready to fly out to attend our first fantasy ball put on by Fantastique Collection in New Jersey. So this is our first time ever making a vlog, ever making a video, ever posting anything on YouTube. So we're very new to all of this. So bear with us if the quality is not good or the audio kind of sucks or whatever. We will do our best to kind of capture everything. This is our first fantasy ball ever. Any type of event of this sort be our first time, so we're very new to it. So from our point of view, it'll be all like new experiences and new um, just everything, just kind of like learning along with us. So while we wait, we'll do like a little get to know us. We are married. We have been married for almost 4 years now. And in 2021, a couple of months after we got married, we got orders to PCS.
We just moved from Texas to Hawaii.
Yes, so we got orders to Hawaii, and we've been living out here for almost 3 years now. So our time is almost up. Every service member moves every 2 to 3 years to a new place. So we were able to get tickets to this ball, and we've been waiting for it since like December of 2023. It's very excited, very excited.
That are marked with the exit sign. 4 doors on the left and 4 doors on the right. Locate the 2 exits nearest you. Keep in mind that these exits may be in front of or behind you.
All right, we have arrived at the hotel. Let's check in for the activities. So we finally made it to our hotel room here at the Sheraton Parsippany, where it's the hotel where the festival and the check-in is happening. So we figured just so that we don't have to keep Ubering back and forth from a different hotel, we would just stay here for convenience. But I can't even let myself rest after like 17 hours of traveling because I want to get everything unpacked so that we're not frantically looking for stuff tomorrow and day of the ball, etc. We got our wristbands upon check-in, which they said that it was waterproof, so I'm assuming I'm going to be showering in it for the next few days, but whatever. Yeah, I don't mind. It's dinner. Took a little break from the unpacking to get some dinner. We're just going to go back and shower, pass out, and get ready for tomorrow. Say goodnight.
Good night.
Good morning. It is 9 a.m. on Friday, February 14th. Makeup is on. I have like 10 minutes to get ready and quickly explain what the weekend is looking like. Duke got up early to get us breakfast. Got a bunch of bacon, eggs, bread. Actually looks really good.
And sausage.
Sausage. That looks really good. So the way that Fantastique Collection breaks up their weekends so far, as far as I know, is just 2 days. Day one today basically is their festival, so it's kind of like an expo where vendors and authors and a fashion designer and stuff get together in the ballrooms of the hotel that we're staying at, so the Sheraton Parsippany. Everybody can go shop and see interview panels and meet authors and stuff like that. But before it, since that is in the afternoon, before it there's Fantastique Collection sent out a list of things to do in the area, so like restaurants, places for pictures, boutiques, bookshops, and like coffee places. I love a good coffee shop, so we'll be doing that first, hitting up some of the recommended spots around town, rushing to get ready, do a little outfit of the day, and then dip. This is the outfit of the day. I got this sweater from Zara, this sweater from Zara, pants from Zara. These are like fleece lined leggings. We also have these beanies that came with Fantastique Collection's membership boxes. You get merch boxes, and that's what we got. So we are wearing these out today. First stop of the day. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Chairs. Super cute, but we might get something elsewhere. This is such a cute little town. It sucks that we're not gonna have more time to explore it. About to do that one. Looks good. Drink. Next stop of the day. Gingerbread Bookshop. I love these. I love it.
Birds will sing a song in Halcyon.
Oh, it's so cute. Book secured. I read this series when I was a kid, and I only have like the second, third book in the series. Found this one for $8.
My love is coming home to me. You say we'll pull our bodies down into the deep. Love, we go down, we go down. Breathe, it's over now, over now. We can love, we can.
One of the options that Fantastique Collection offered for things to do in the area was tattoo shops, and I was like, pause. I love tattoos, and it didn't occur to me to get one to like commemorate the trip. So I quickly had to like find one that I didn't pick some of the ones that Fantastique Collection had offered. I kind of found my own that was a little bit farther. Booked the appointment, and now we are here today to get a tattoo. Well, just myself.
Birds will all sing, ah, ah, ah. The birds will all.
Alright, so we finally made it back to the hotel after an exciting morning full of activities. Now we are getting ready for the festival. It's downstairs in the ballrooms of the hotel. Also, cosplay was encouraged, but since this is like our first time, we don't really have like something that we would wanted to wear, if that makes sense. So we were just wearing regular clothes, just getting myself ready. Alright, I'm gonna be wearing this claw clip that I got from Lassoed Moon. It's Valaris, or like the mountains in Valaris with like little pearls on it. I don't know. I just love it. I think it's so cute. I had to cut the activity short because it's 6 o'clock. We have to leave the hotel by 7 to get dinner, which will be in New York City because Duke is a born and raised New Yorker. His friends are still living there. So we were able to actually put something together, and everybody said that they were able to come. So we're like really excited to finally see them for Valentine's dinner, and it all adds to the excitement of this weekend and how fun it was. But oh my gosh, the festival, so good. The fashion show, amazing, and it's just like amping up my excitement for tomorrow. There was several times where I almost started crying because of how excited I was, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am actually here. I'm finally experiencing everything that I've been waiting for over a year and a half. I don't know. I'm riding a high right now, but I have to run and get ready so that we can make it to New York City in time. Finally back at the hotel room after a really long night of rushing. We went to New York City for dinner to visit Duke's friends. It was just such a great time that like we had meant to come back by like 10 p.m. We just, didn't want to say goodbye. Now we gotta rest for tomorrow. Ball day is finally tomorrow. Yes. Well, actually later today. These are my pajamas, New York themed pajamas. It's got the Rockettes, pretzels, Cartier. There's a taxi on here somewhere, bikes, the subway system, etc. I got them off the TikTok shop. Now time to get some rest and be ready for later. Yeah. Good morning. Today's the day. It is February 15th. Saturday, the day we've been waiting for so long is finally here. I cannot believe it. Ball is until 5 p.m. We're gonna start getting ready. Shower, makeup, hair, etc. But yeah, it's today. Hair is done. Skincare is done. Now really it's just left to do makeup. It's currently snowing, which I did not think was gonna happen during this trip. It said that there was a possibility of it. It's been years, and I'm so glad that we were able to have this trip during a time where it was gonna snow. You can't multitask with doing my makeup and talking at the same time. How I got into reading, basically. How I got back into reading. As a kid, I used to read a lot. Like a lot. As much as I could, because my mom was the type of parent to be like, you have to read something productive. So whenever my brothers and I brought up something that we wanted to check out from the library that she thought wasn't productive, she didn't let us get it. So we didn't get to read a lot of kid related stuff as kids, but from what we did get to, I did end up reading like the Percy Jackson series and stuff like that. Never Harry Potter, because my mom was like, no, it's demonic and whatever. I love to read as a kid. And then, I don't know, something about adulthood just like ended that for me. So I just stopped reading. And then 2021, I had met Duke, and he was like, there's this series that I want to read. I think around the same time there was like a TikTok that came up that was like, Barnes & Nobles is doing a buy one get one 50% off sale, and he was like, you know what, there's one near us, let me just go stop by, see if I can find a series that I really want to read. I was like, sure, I'll go. I didn't really like think of going for anything for myself, but once there I was like, I remember why I really liked it here. Actually ended up getting stuff for myself that I'd seen from TikTok, but like in passing. I got a couple of books, and he got the series that he really wanted to read. But then after that, I actually never read any of the books that I got. I think it was just like in the moment for the aesthetic of it. But Duke really got into his series, which I think at the time was the Red Rising series. He really got into it, so much so that like I remember there was times where I'd be driving us somewhere and he's like deep into his book, and then all of a sudden he like starts freaking out about some scene or whatever, and he's like borderline tearing up because of how like impactful it was for him, and I'm just over here like, okay, weirdo. Fast forward, it's May of 2023. The Queen Charlotte show had just come out. I had watched Bridgerton before that, so I loved it. When the show came out, obviously, like, I had to watch it. Loved it. And then obviously after that, TikTok started going crazy, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for Pollen and Pollen this, Pollen that. And I was like, okay, I knew that they were based on books, but they were, I saw on TikTok so much that people were saying like, Queen Charlotte show is amazing, and it makes me, you know, really excited for the next seasons. And like the next one was supposed to be about Colin and Penelope, and like the books were better and whatever. So I was so, I guess I was so influenced by it at the time that I was like, you know what, let me see what this book is about. So I brought it up to Duke. I was like, hey, let's go to the Barnes & Noble here on Island, which is, there's only one Barnes & Noble in Oahu, and it's like a 40-minute drive from us. We sat down at the Starbucks, got our little drinks and a little setup. I even have like a picture that I posted on Instagram. And I was like, all right, finally picking up a book to read. Like, it was really fun just sitting there with my little drink and reading this book. So yeah, we didn't get to stay at Barnes & Noble very long. So we went home, and I was like, you know what, let's keep the vibes going. We sat on the couch and we put on like an ambient video on YouTube. I made myself like some tea, and I got my blanket and stuff. So I think I finished the book like that day. I really liked it. I didn't think it was exactly up to the hype that everybody had made it out to be on TikTok, but I enjoyed it. Like, it did also make me excited for the next season. More than that, it was like I just really enjoyed reading again so much, and I was like, you know what, I really enjoyed this. Like, I should do this more often. Like, what would stop me from reading for so many years? You know, like, this is really fun. I enjoyed it. So then after that, I was looking around my house, and I was like, I want to keep this up before I stop again for like years. So I'm looking around my house, and our shelf looks so sad because there's like decorative books in it, and like magazines and like comic books. So we don't really have like a book at that point. But I saw that amongst some of those books was ACOTAR, which, like I mentioned, back in 2021 when we went to the Barnes & Noble, I had gotten it because I was influenced by like all these books that I had seen on TikTok. And back then I had tried to read ACOTAR because I'd been hearing so much about it, and was like, this must be such a great book if everybody's always bringing it up and raving about it and crying about it. But I got as far as the scene where Feyre is at Tamon's manor, whatever, and she thinks that she sees her dad coming to rescue her, but obviously it's like an illusion. I got up to that point and I was like, this is boring. I am not liking this, because up until like then, I guess, fantasy had never really been like an interest of mine. I thought it was like really nerdy, and it was not my genre of choice, I guess. That's why I never picked it up again. Till I had finished the Bridgerton book and I needed something else to read. You know what? I still see a lot of people talking about this. People still rave about it so much, and I'll give it another try. So I did. I got it to the same point that I did last time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dying out again. Like, determined to keep going, because there's gotta be something. A couple chapters after that, it started to get really good. Got to the part with Amarantha and everything under the mountain, etc. And I finished it, and I was like, that was amazing. It was the first book I'd read, like, that I have, well, I guess not the first book, but like the one that got me back into reading. So yeah, I was like, this is amazing. It was so over the moon about it. I immediately had to order the second book. For Hawaii, everything takes like double as long to arrive as it would on the mainland. So 2-day shipping for Hawaii does not exist. It takes like 4 to 5 days, maybe more. So I think I'd finished reading ACOTAR like on a Tuesday, and Akamath wasn't gonna arrive until Saturday. And I was literally like, I don't know how to describe it, just like gnawing at the bars of my enclosure, needing to get this second book, because finally arrived, and I think I've read Akamath in like 2 days or something, which I know doesn't sound like, oh my gosh, it's a crazy amount of time. Like, it's probably normal, but to me it was like a big feat because I hadn't read much in years. But it was just, oh my It was so good. So I was really happy that I was able to overcome the boredom. And at the end of it, I was like diehard Tam and Feyre, but I had already kind of spoiled it for myself because I had like gone to as I was getting into it, I was seeing TikToks about it, and I was like, this is a spring cord, isn't it? This is a blonde dude. Why am I seeing dark bats and stuff? So when Rhys and Feyre had that little thing going on at the end of ACOTAR, I was like, it's starting to make sense to me. And obviously ACOMAF is what solidified it, because oh my god, I love Rhys. I ended up loving Rhys so much. I can't even explain how much I love Rhys. Everything that I have in my house is Rhys related. You know, like wall decor, my laptop wallpaper, my phone wallpaper. I got ACOTAR tattoos, so obviously like Valaris, and then To the Stars Who Listen, and then my hands have like a bunch of stars on it, and then I got this one, and it's like, it just went downhill for me. Book Talk took over from there. Here we are, 2 years later. Speaking of which, at the time, I think I finished the entire series by like July, and I'd started in May. Come like July, I'm scrolling on TikTok and I get a video from Fantastique Collection saying they're announcing the venue for their Starfall ball for 2025, and I was like, let me look at this real quick. Something about the video was so magical, like it like really caught my attention. And then when they showed the venue, I was like, I started to tear up out of like euphoria, I guess. I don't know. And I ran to Duke and I was like, we have to do this. Holding a ball based on Starfall in a gorgeous castle somewhere in New Jersey. It's like so amazing to see like that I could live out my ACOTAR dreams in reality. I just really wanted more friends too that know about ACOTAR. So I was like, we have to do this. They said that they weren't gonna out tickets till December. Again, this is July. I'll admit I forgot about it until like November, and I got another video saying our tickets go live in like a month, and I was like, I completely forgot about it. And I told Duke, we have a month to like save up for these tickets. And then we found out how much they were gonna be, and we were like, well, we already committed to the thought of attending, so might as well. Well, come December 1st, I managed to get even just like one ticket because they were gonna have another sale in February. I was like deliriously happy. But yeah, and then February came around, February 1st, and I was able to get the other ticket. And then we realized it's February 2024. We still got like a year to go, but it went by so quickly. At the time, it didn't feel like it, but now that we're here, it went by so fast, and it's kind of sad. We are ready. Had to cut the video short because we were in a rush. It's like the theme of the weekend. This is the look. It's my cloak because it's freezing cold outside, but yeah. So hands-on. 6 a.m. Sunday morning. We are leaving the hotel.
Exhausted.
Yeah, very tired, but also incredibly sad that we're gonna be leaving. It's a nice airport. A couple notes about the ball. It was great. I loved it. There were some hiccups here and there, which brought down my experience a little bit, but it was still great. I mean, the first time, I'm not really sure what's going on. It was super easy. You just walked in, showed your wristband, and that was it. And then you just dropped off your code or whatever at code check. You know, you got your little ticket, and that was that. Okay, so when we entered and got rid of our coats, we were just walking around. Like everybody was just in the foyer and just kind of milling around, and we couldn't go up the stairs at that point. They were kind of roped off, so we were just kind of standing there like, okay, where do we go? What do we do? And that was like maybe 10 minutes tops before the crowd started moving, and we were able to like go into the rest of the castle. We got to see two of the different ballrooms that they had downstairs. One of them, we didn't really understand the setup when we first got there, and then the other one, when you entered, you could see that they had like the 360 video thing, and they had like a runway. But we were still like, okay, so what do we do? Where do we go? And then coming back out to the foyer, we noticed that they had taken the ropes off the stairs. So then we realized, okay, we can go upstairs. So like that first half hour or so was really just like being in the castle and like taking pictures and admiring, the architecture, whatever. So there wasn't really any structure to like what to do or where to go. And we did see Leslie and everybody kind of like walking around. So we were thinking like, oh, okay, they're going to give an announcement or something from up in the balcony to everybody. But no, so like we weren't really sure. We were kind of hoping to like when we arrived, be like, okay, this is where you can go, this is what you can do. Later on, we did get an announcement saying that like every half hour, starting from 5 or 6 or something, there was going to be dance tutorials in one of the ballrooms for the group dancing that you could do at the actual ballroom later on. So we were like, all right, we can check that out. And they had a quiet room for those that get overwhelmed with noise or yeah, just need a moment for to escape the festivities or whatever, could sit there and just be in the quiet and take a moment. But yeah, we hit up dinner first because after we went upstairs, we noticed that that's where the buffet and everything was set up. The seating was open seating, so if you found an empty table, just sat there. The buffet was amazing. I mean, everything that went right at the mall, I think, was because of the venue. They do this every weekend, so that everything went super smoothly. Everybody was super attentive, getting you drinks and coming up the tables, and like they just did a great job. And then the food was amazing. They had such a vast variety of like everything. They had so many little stations. They had like a cheese table, and then like different kinds of food. So there was like Indian, and then there was like Philly cheesesteaks. There was like so much going on, and that was amazing. Like the food itself was actually really, really good, as were the drinks. So there were like bars everywhere. There was bars like as soon as you walked up the stairs. Once inside where like the buffet was set up, there was like two on each side, and then inside the ballroom where all the tables were set up, there was more bars. So that was really, really good. They also had themed drinks, which I noticed was the only sort of ACOTAR themed thing at the ball, was the names of the drinks. But that was about it. Like there wasn't much else that was ACOTAR related, despite being titled the Starfall Ball, but that's whatever. I mean, it was still great. Either way, like it was still a really nice dinner experience. And then we went downstairs to the class, like the group dancing tutorial, and we got to see with the instructors how we were supposed to perform that, which was great. I actually really liked the dance itself. But yeah, and then after that, there was just so many people there that like I had to take a moment in the quiet room. But regardless, like after that, we popped over to the next ballroom where there was already like a really long line. And we were like, what's this line for? And they're like, it's for the 360 video thing. And we're like, sure, I guess, might as well, get one of those before we leave. Trying to, do one of everything before we leave the venue. So we were in line for maybe like a good half hour before we finally got to do our 360 video, which is great. Like, I really loved it. And then we realized that there was another line that was like stemming off from the 360 one. The other line was for the fashion runway, which I think was one of the surprises that Fantastique Collection had said that they were going to have in one of their ballrooms. I didn't think it was really that much of a surprise. I thought it was just like something that they had there. So I wasn't super like, yay about it, but it was still great. Like, they had a photographer taking pictures of everybody coming down the runway, and that was a really nice moment. Having the whole room cheer for you, and just walking down, having your own moment. But then that was like an hour of just standing in the line for the 360 video and then the runway. So by the time that we came back upstairs, it was maybe like pushing 8 or something. When we went back upstairs to the main ballroom, we noticed that there was already some dancing going on. And then once we went back to our table and sat down, we noticed that the dancing had already begun, but it was more like, dance music, not really like waltz or any of that. So once we took our seats back at the table that we were at, we got an announcement from Leslie, I think, that there was going to be a special performance, which is nice. Like, it was okay. It's just one of those things that you're just waiting for it to be over. So we were just like sitting at the table, just like waiting for her to finish singing. I mean, she did great. Like, it was amazing still. Like, she's a great singer, and I loved her outfit and stuff. But then after that, she went into singing Soldier Poet King, which is such an iconic song for these kind of events. It's like the fantasy song. And Duke can tell you, like, I waited the entire year and a half that we've been waiting for the ball to dance to that specific song. But she ended up being the one to sing it, and everybody was just watching her sing the song. And it was only up until the end of the song that she urged everybody to come up and dance. So I was like, that kind of killed it for me. Like, I was hoping to dance to the whole song on the dance floor, just twirl and be whimsical, whatever. But it was okay. I mean, it was fine. And after that, there was a fashion competition. So everybody who was like either in cosplay or like dressed up like really well or whatever, they had the opportunity to come up and do the fashion runway, which is right in the middle of the dance floor. And then obviously, like, people gathered around like the middle runway part, but there was only so much that you could just stand there before you couldn't see anything. So majority of the people were just sitting around on the tables watching people watching the runway. So you couldn't see anything. It wasn't like on a TV or a projector or anything. So you could just like hear it happening, but you couldn't see anything. So it was another one of those things where you're just sitting there like waiting for it to be over and stuff. And that went on for like a good 45 minutes. Like, in that time, we got like dessert and more drinks, and we were just sitting at the table watching people watch something. So that also kind of killed it. And then by the time that the fashion competition was over, there was maybe like 20 minutes left of the actual dancing before the evening concluded. And it was just like dance music. So like reggaeton or music like that. So I was like, the entire dancing portion, we just sat at the table. And I was wondering, I was like, did we miss the group dancing while we were downstairs waiting for the 360 video on the runway? Because that was the part that I was looking forward to the most, was actually being on the dance floor and just actually dancing, not just like you know but it was still good. Like, it was still like a party. That's what I was there for. But it was mostly just watching other people dance and not really having a moment to like jump in and do dancing ourselves. And like, we had practiced like ballroom dancing and stuff prior to, because we were just really looking forward to that moment of dancing. But we didn't get to, unfortunately. And all the songs that I had, because like a week prior to the ball, Fantastique Collection had sent out like document where you could fill out what songs you wanted to hear, what songs you wanted to play during dinner, what songs you wanted to dance to and stuff. And I had been waiting for a year and a half. I had been, putting together playlists of all these songs that I wanted to hear, and I put them all in the document, and I didn't hear any of them. And I really wanted to dance to Kingdom Dance from Tangled. Like that was the one I was looking forward to the most, or like Modern Songs, but as an instrumental. Again, Soldier Poet King, didn't get to dance to or any of that. So that part was the most disappointing for me. But I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat any of this. I'm gonna be real about my experience. Hopefully it improves. But yeah, there were a lot of things throughout the weekend that didn't turn out very well. So like I'm sure you've heard about like the swag bags not being all that great, and like the actual swag being subpar, and just like um, the free bar at the festival. We ended up having to pay for it, and then like we were supposed to get T-shirts that never arrived, and a lot of things didn't go super well. But it didn't totally diminish my experience. Swag bags didn't turn out all that great. It was whatever. If the T-shirts didn't arrive on time, but I'm gonna get them later, that's whatever. Really, the only thing that kind of disappointed me was the actual ball, not being able to dance. But overall, I still think that we got our money's worth. Maybe not like entirely. If it had been like closer to 400 rather than like 450, 480, I think it would have been more worth the spend. But either way, I still had fun. Obviously, Fantastique Collection noticed that everybody was complaining about these things. So literally, like the day after, they sent out an email saying, "Hey, we heard your feedback. We want to know more how we can improve for future events. So let us know, what you had an issue with." And they were really thorough about it. They were asking, about the swag bags and like the actual ball and the experiences. So hopefully, they have learned from that, and they, heard everybody. And for their future events, they'll do better. I don't think it was bad enough to where I'm gonna like just like never consider attending one of their events again. No, I think it was great. Again, if them asking for feedback is a sign that they're learning, then I totally look forward to attending their future events. We are going to their San Francisco Starfall Ball in September, and then their Dreamers and Readers Ball next March in Dallas. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to those. We have another event that we are going to. If you've heard of Rain and Revelry, they're another fantasy ball company, and they're going to be holding a similar fantasy ball in mid-July in northern Michigan, and we are going to be attending that one. So if you're also going to be there, find me. Let's be friends. Yeah, overall, I give the experience like a solid 7.5 out of 10. Really, like the only thing that made it feel like it wasn't worth all the money is just because we live so far away, and then the traveling itself was very lengthy and expensive. But hopefully, when we move back to the mainland pretty soon, it's not going to be that expensive. So I hope that it'll make the experiences better. So if there's anything else that I didn't answer in this video, or if you have any questions, please let me know. I can try and answer them to the best of my ability. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I try to make it as short as possible, even though it's probably like 40, 50 minutes long. But yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody at the next event, and I love y'all.